This is a HeadGum podcast.
Oh man, I didn't even know we were recording.
I guess I didn't know.
I guess I didn't.
What is there's an interesting choice that was made here.
What's the choice?
You lit one of the candles.
I really wanted the Wickwillian candle that we were sent to have, and speaking of scent, pun intended, to have the stage. I wanted this, whatever this smells like, to take center stage because I really wanted to smell it.
What is it? What's the flavor?
Bleary. No, I don't know. Actually.
Bleary. It's
Bleary?
it's sea breeze and berries. Bleary.
It says bougie candle.
Sea berries.
Sea ripples. Yeah, it doesn't say. Well, I mean, a bit of sand is what the joke name is.
Is this going to be the smartest business decision we've ever made in our lives?
Dude, Mike, I'm telling you, if we really put effort into it, and if we get like a third party to reach out to like a company that exists already, that's like a because here's why I'm thinking of it, and we can cut this part out if we don't want it. A24 worked with this like fancy New York candle company, and they made like a special edition A24 set of candles.
What is that?
A24 is a movie studio that releases like really good like not studio movies.
A24 did Red Wine.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Starring
Red Wine.
No, Reg Wine. Greg
Wine. The Dixie Gregs.
Guys, welcome to Dynamic Banter. This episode might sound different, and I won't tell you why. And I'm not talking about the quality. Well, I am.
I guess in a roundabout way I am. I had a couple not necessarily funny things to bring up, just that I thought about on the walk.
Oh, I
over.
love that. Let's have it.
Are you interested in that?
Absolutely, Mike.
First
I
of all,
love
I'd
hearing
like
you
to
talk.
say
I think
we're
you're a funny
rapidly-
man, and I think you're great.
Rapidly approaching the 9th of April, which is the Friends and Friends show in Irvine, which you may remember. Two or three of those.
Wait, is this the one where there's just too much
The
room?
room's too big.
The room's too big.
The room is too big for me. And
So
my
somebody
friends.
messed up.
No
and
one
booked
messed up.
a too big room.
Yeah, they messed up by believing in me too much.
I just want to posit it as a potential mess up. Like, I got booked into a too big room. Bring everybody you know.
Hey everyone. Uh-oh. And then the commercial, it echoes. I actually have, if you'll allow me to interject a radio commercial.
Absolutely, get in there.
Okay, this is an advertisement for April 9th at the Irvine Improv and the Irvine Spectrum.
Get in there, son.
Hey everybody, me and all my friends are going down to the Irvine Improv to do the Friends and Friends crowd work show. You gotta come, it's like a 400-person room, and I don't even know that many people on this coast, the East Coast, either coast. Doesn't matter. There's no way we're filling up the room, but goddamn, I'm trying so hard, and it'll be an awesome time regardless. I love you so much, and I'll see you there. Underwear, rhymed at the end.
So we blew all the money on that commercial. What is this for? What did we do to deserve this?
Well, someone bungled it with that giant room you have to fill. Like, I'm so scared.
This is going to be playing during the entire show.
I'm sorry, everyone. Please just space out.
Hey, no, you don't want them spaced out.
No, you don't
You
want
need
them
these
spaced
people
out.
Chaudière to Chaudière.
Of course.
Speaking of which, you know where they will be that.
Where's that?
Nashvilleian.
Dude, we're doing a Nashville show so soon.
2 of them. I want to let people, there's really not much time in between the first show and the second show, so I want to let
know.
people in early so they could get those shirts if they want.
That's a great idea.
Because they're only going to be available there. I got to talk to them about that.
And I have a very complicated and rigorous pre-show ritual Otherwise, I would love to come out and meet anybody before the show.
Yeah.
I just will not be available because I'll be doing my meditation.
Steve needs to, and I've seen this with my own eyes. Steve needs to masturbate no less than 30 times before every live performance.
That's right. And this takes all year for me to really like hone and
He saves up.
sometimes there's mistakes and those are the bad shows and
The worst is having to start over.
the worst is having to start over and that's what I say every time after a breakup.
Remember that Bee Gees song, The Worst is Having to Start Over?
The worst is having to start over.
Please welcome the wickedly talented one and only Adele Dazeem.
What the fuck? Ruth Buzzy standing here?
I
Who
have
was
not
that?
I have not been able to stop playing this clip all week.
What is that?
It's
Is this a bit from another show? Because I don't want any part
you know
of it.
who
if that's the
you know
case.
who Adina Menzel is.
No. I know who Johnny Menzel is.
Adina Menzel is the woman who sang the Frozen song.
Okay.
Pretty sure. Shit, am I wrong about that?
I don't know.
Jesus Christ! Now I don't know who NSYNC.
Fanzina Howie Mandel. What is Howie short for?
Howard. Yeah, seasons of love and Let It Go from Frozen. She did the Let It Go song. She's Let the Storm Rain out. She's the one that
Good
hits
note.
that note.
Good note.
And she was she was performing at the Oscars in 2014.
Weird flex.
And great flex. And John Travolta introduced her. Now again,
What's her name?
her name is John Travolta bungled it. Wait, here, point it at his other. Here, no, point it there. Give him some nips. Give him a nip. There's what I'm talking about.
A little bit louder now.
I think it's great because there's no angle here, so you can't even tell. Not even the people who watch this can tell what we did. Oh, Mike's gonna. No, you're not gonna. You thought about it? Yeah, no.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna have to do more work.
Her name is Adina Menzel.
Okay.
Adina Menzel.
One Dina.
Adina Menzel.
Please welcome the wickedly talented one and only Adele Dazeem.
That's John Travolta?
Yes.
Dude,
The
wickedly talented
wickedly talented.
is Buying Time.
Oh, yeah. And he
then-
also stumbles on it.
What's the other one?
Please welcome the wickedly talented. Listen to the way he says wickedly talented.
And say her name one
You're
more time.
totally right because he's stretching. He's like,
Oh,
fuck,
yeah, yeah.
he's like, that prompter's not working.
Yeah.
He's like,
Please welcome the wickedly talented one and only Adele Dazeem.
listen, to a degree, can I just be honest? To a degree, I totally understand.
Yeah, like why the fuck does John Travolta need to memorize anyone
I mean,
else's name?
that's the thing.
He's done.
It's the Oscars.
Look who's talking one. Look who's talking two.
I mean,
The one where they were in Russia for a
Saturday
second.
Night Live fever.
Live from New York, it's the fever.
Live from New York Night Live Saturday fever.
Live from New York, it's nighttime fever. It's Saturday. God damn it!
Live from New York, I've got a fever.
Everyone's in a hospital. The
Please
whole
welcome the wickedly talented one and only Adele Dazeem.
show. What happens afterwards? How long does it take people to clap?
Let's find that. Let's
Just
see.
shame on everyone else for clapping, because you know they did a lot after that. You know? And no one knows who's coming up because no one has that name.
I've been playing it all week for the Valley Folk, and some of
don't do that. Don't recycle from the
no,
Valley
just
Folk podcast.
no. This was not on the podcast at all. This was just in the writers' room.
Okay, good.
And around the office, I would
Adele
just pull up the clip
Dazeem.
and go, "Please welcome the wickedly talented
One and only.
Adele Dazeem." And he even gave it like an accent.
Yeah, to be proper, to be correct.
Adele Dazeem.
Please welcome the wickedly talented one and only Adele Dazeem.
That doesn't even sound like him.
Adele Dazeem.
Adele Dazeem.
So let's see if there's more to it.
There will always be a special place in my heart for the movie musical and for the songs that create their most memorable moments. Here to perform the Oscar-nominated, gorgeously empowering song, Let It Go, from the Oscar-winning animated movie Frozen, please welcome the wickedly talented one and only Adele Dazeem.
I mean,
So close.
There's just nothing.
Is there someone named Adele Dazeem
No.
in the world?
No.
Okay.
And the FBI looked. Because
The
this was
FBI, who was in attendance.
So, of course, he's gone on to talk about
The wickedly.
he's gone on to talk about it.
One thing everyone's been talking about today is, and I mentioned it up front, top of the show, John Travolta's embarrassing mistake
This is, of course, Conan the Barbarian.
at last night's Oscars. He was supposed to introduce singer Idina Menzel, okay? But here's what he said instead.
Please welcome the wickedly talented one and only Adele Dazeem.
Conan stands there looking confused.
Conan does the dance where he cuts the strings off his hips.
That's right, instead of saying Idina Menzel, he said Adele Dazeem. Now, this is very embarrassing for John Travolta, but it's actually been great publicity for this lady. Please welcome aspiring singer Adele Dazeem.
This is such a late night television
such
show
a late
thing to
night
do.
joke.
That's like whoever wrote that sketch has been working in late night television since 1974.
Yeah, like we know people who would have made that joke in a writer's room we've been in before.
Yeah.
And collectively the groans and
yeah.
like
what if there's really a woman named Adele Dazeem?
and she comes out and it's someone real funny.
Right. And she's reaping the benefits of this whole kooky name mix up. God damn it, baby! You know I fucked up your name. I didn't mean to.
What's this? This should be interesting.
Welcome,
This is the most internet thing to
one and
happen.
only. The wick,
See?
the wick, the wick, the wick, the wick, the wick, the wick, one and only. The wick, the wick, the wick, the wick, the wick. Adele Kidley talented. Adele Kidley talented. Adele Kidley talented.
I couldn't believe that I was leaving, so I called my friend.
No.
Okay, so this is the way comedy works in 2019.
I love this.
Somebody fucks up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Late night television makes up a character based on that name.
Mm-hmm.
And the internet chops up a 30-second soundbite and puts it next to a techno
The
song.
music doesn't even have to match. The beat doesn't have to match.
Yeah. And Conan is an incredibly funny comedian, and I'm sure he has incredibly funny people writing for him, and there are incredibly funny people on the internet, but make it perfectly clear that neither of those two things is funny.
Right. And never
I am not
will.
the comedy police. I can only tell you what I believe, and I believe in from the bottom of my heart to the top of the cockles of my cock heart, cold heart, warm heart.
I'm going to
open
need a replay
eyes.
on that. I'm going to need to rehear that. I'm going to need to listen to
couldn't
this on
say
the
that
car on
again.
the way
I
home.
couldn't say that again at the same time.
To save
if you
your
paid
life.
me money. But neither of those two jokes is funny.
I will say though, there are exceptions for sure.
Oh, always.
and there always are. And to just throw out an exception out of someone that does just that, but does it really well and it's always good is the Gregory brothers.
Yeah, but I think
Shimoyoho.
that's one of the reasons why when other people try to do it, it's not as good.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Like, I feel like even Shimoyoho might not be the first. The Gregory brothers might not be the first people that have ever done that. But it's definitely the funniest.
Yeah.
And best because they're actually talented musicians.
Yeah.
And that's important. But Mike, would you like to hear? And I'm going to give you this option, and the audience will also have to just go along with whatever option you choose. We can continue on, and
power.
you and I both know we have no idea where this episode's going. We don't know what we're going to talk about. We don't know what bits could come out of it. But I'm giving you the power right now to choose whether you want to move on or listen to John Travolta explaining the Idina Menzel moment on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Now, before you answer,
He went from
let me throw-
Conan.
no, he wasn't on Conan.
Okay.
This is him on Jimmy Kimmel Live.
I can
John
explain
Travolta
what I said.
himself explaining it. But here's the thing. I have to tell you. You know for a fact that whatever his reason is,
It's gonna
it
be
was
written by
written
somebody
by
else.
someone who's funny.
You know what I thought?
Unless it's like legitimately real. But let's find out. Should we find
Dude,
out?
John Travolta has white guy Jay-Z voice. Mm-hmm. John Travolta.
It's so kind.
John Travolta was the first person to have Jay-Z's voice. Mr.
And then
Cocktail.
he sold it to Jay-Z.
Nothing is original.
All right, let's listen to it. I didn't give you the choice. We're just
By the
playing.
way, I'm an art collector myself.
Oh, yeah?
When
You know what? Let's
I,
play it.
When I was a kid, I had the Welcome Back Kotter lunchbox, and my wife managed to get the original artwork
Doesn't care.
for the Welcome
He
Back
totally doesn't care.
lunchbox.
Oh, wow.
It's a pretty. I think it's pretty great.
Oh,
These
that
are
is
hanging
great.
on the wall in my office.
I get to see it and not
look,
Mike.
you got an A and everything.
Or anyone else.
Do you guys think that Jimmy and I look alike? We do, don't we? Seriously. And I could do this with him, your unattractive brother. Like what I did with Adina.
Oh
tonight.
yeah, that's right.
Apparently I played with her chin too much, but you know.
You can never play with a woman's chin too
You
much.
can't.
You famously or infamously, however you want it, you had this. You mispronounced her name. What happened?
No,
Sure
okay,
did.
the truth.
Yeah.
Not the Chinook helicopter thing. Okay.
Yes.
The truth is, I was expected backstage, and it was getting very close to the time I was supposed to go on, and
Throwing other people under the bed.
suddenly
Can you
a
pause
page.
it? It seems like at this age, it's like his brain wants to say twice as many
I
words as
know.
his mouth.
It's not
does.
happening, yeah.
And there's a disagreement.
There's a big disagreement.
Suddenly, a page, an assistant to you, grabbed me out of the seat and said, "You're on in a minute and 15 seconds."
Dude,
And I said,
please think
"Really?"
about that when he's talking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know, and it's not working
His
at all.
brain is like
it's
super
broken.
fast typewriter, and his mouth is like something not as fast.
This man is used to memorizing words and repeating them.
Yeah.
I said, "What happened to 15 minutes?"
Yeah.
They said, "Well, they didn't explain." Well, later I found
Under the bed.
that my actual page got stuck in an elevator and
Accountability.
couldn't communicate to anybody. So then the backup page came to rush to get me. But as I get backstage, I run into Goldie Hawn. Now, Goldie Hawn is
Name drop.
charismatic, sexy, beautiful. She's got the amazing thing. And I was...
The fuck? He did this. What is that?
She has plastic in her
She has
face.
plastic lips.
I can't get enough of all the plastic in her face. Wow.
My favorite thing to do is suck on plastic face.
So basically, I was there with the page who's doing a horrible job, and they send up the backup page because that's definitely a job somebody had.
Come on, Lisa.
Starstruck.
Elevator with the backup page. I was on my phone ordering my Wick William candle. Debbie Bow, Debbie Bow.
I'm starstruck, hugging and loving her up and forgetting that I have to...
I was
go and
I
do
was
the
doing a
spit.
Me Too.
And they said, "You're on."
I was busy sexually harassing Goldie Hawn. and I said Adele Dazeem.
I said, "Goldie, we'll talk. You're going to one of the parties?" I said, "Okay, we'll see you then." They said, "Oh, by the way, we've changed Adina's name to phonetic spelling." I went, but what do you mean? Go! So I go out there, and I get to
It's phonetic.
her thing, and I
Phonetic is so easy. They spell it out.
Why would one be the other one though? Like
Yeah,
why would
that's-
the phonetic spelling of Idina Menzel be
Yeah.
Adele
Yeah.
Dazeem?
Because even if it was phonetically spelled, you would phonetically read Idina Menzel. Idina Menzel.
Also, who needs? Never mind.
I thought,
Who needs that name?
Yeah, I know.
We're talking about 4 syllables,
Dude,
No,
you
5.
know, it's interesting because these celebrities are giving us a little insight into the Oscars
Yeah. So what happened?
and how
was-
they do things, which means that for these actors, they phonetically spell the names out for them on a prompter.
Yeah.
And that's okay because look, when I've done shows where I have to I did a live show at Comic-Con for
Yeah,
hours where
very
we're
hard.
ushering people in and out, and it's like the prompter is like not always on time, and it's like
Yeah.
fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
And it's live on, and hundreds of thousands of people are watching it, and it's
Yeah.
like Ian Ziering, Ian Ziering.
Dude, also to throw my own self under the bus, I called Peter Serafinowicz Paul Serafinowicz.
To his face?
Oh, yeah. While I was sitting next to him.
Oh, because he does Paul McCartney. He does a Paul McCartney impression. You
Does he?
you could have covered it up.
Does he
He
really?
does a great Paul McCartney.
Does he really?
Oh, yeah.
We got to get him on the show.
And he was gonna do oh my god, dude, what if we did Commentarium? Yellow Submarine with Peter
Oh.
Serafinowicz as Paul.
To think that he would come over.
There's no world.
There's no world.
I mean,
where
we
that
got John
exists.
Goodman and J.J. Abrams.
That's true. He might come over.
We'll see who we can reach out to.
in my mind, I'm going,
Wait
what
a
is
minute.
that name? I don't know that name. And it was just phonetic spelling, but I didn't rehearse it that way.
So this was Goldie Hawn's fault.
Okay, so he's throwing everyone under the bus.
So basically, between Goldie, the page, the backup page, and the elevator,
I just couldn't read. Goldie Hawn made me not read.
no one taught me how to read. Ask Goldie Hawn in the elevator with the page and the backup page.
The truth is, Goldie Hawn took my reading away.
You find me the episode of Welcome Back, Kotter, where he taught us how to read. It doesn't exist.
Goldie Hawn made me beauty blind. I couldn't read the prompter, Lisa.
Adele Dazeem.
Wow. Maybe. I would never forgive her. but the beautiful news is, and Adina actually agrees, is that she's had like one of the best years of her life in her career.
Yeah.
And she
And
gives
that
me
ended
credit for
Yeah.
She should give you money, never mind credit.
Why?
I didn't like. I wish we had just moved on.
Well,
I didn't like it.
given the choice, I would have said no thank you to that soundbite.
I love it when one of my favorite things is to find when people bungle it in real life, and there's wonderful compilations online for like news people that bungle it,
Yeah.
which is very funny always.
Dude, bungling names. What was the one? Oh, it was a terrible situation where like somebody like I don't remember it was a terrible story, and it was a very tense moment,
Oh,
and the anchor
fuck.
destroyed the person's name. It
Yeah,
was like
see?
a fallen officer or something like that.
Oh no!
And then the news anchor was like, an officer copper poopy pants.
Cabro Bello,
Cabro Bella Dookie.
dang angels.
Trying to finish strong.
And unfortunately, Officer Prundell is in Angel's Heaven now. Next up.
It's terrible. Don't mean to be making light of it, but
No, I
but
mean,
it
we have
really
to make
happens.
light of it
It's
because
a real
death
thing
is
that
terrifying.
happens. Yeah.
We have to laugh about it. Otherwise, we're going to be scared shitless.
If you ain't laughing, you dead.
If you ain't laughing, you dying. That's weird. So I love it. And there's a dude there. Do you remember when Steve Harvey, Will Haynes and I named Droop, were watching when Steve Harvey fucked up Miss America, and the clip is too long, or Miss Universe or something, but I can describe it to you if you'd like.
Okay.
Basically, it's down to Argentina and the Philippines. Okay, these two beautiful women, and they're
Pluto and Neptune are nowhere in the running.
absolutely not. They don't even count. They couldn't make it on time. Their space shuttle broke down. And so they're looking. So Argentina and
Toe Jam and Earl families.
so you got to collect all the Funyuns to get back to your ship.
What a fucked up game.
Dude, we should now after we write this movie,
Put
let's
on the rocket potato chips to
Dude.
find the broken parts of your hoo-ha.
after we Now do the house pumpkin.
Let's dance for half an hour.
Let's use our power dance to knock down enemies. Dude. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, let's make the game. Let's make a game after we make the Weekend at Bernie's screwball movie.
Yeah.
And then we'll make a game.
We should just do live action Toe Jam and Earl.
Dude, let's write the Toe Jam and Earl movie.
Yeah, okay.
And then we'll do the voices, because of course they would want us and not like,
Yeah.
fucking, what's his name? The guy who's who trains dinosaurs.
Are there any influencers who could voice Toe Jam and Earl?
Yeah.
I was talking about us.
oh, I thought you were saying, can we throw out YouTubers?
We'll use our influence.
Okay, so here's what happens. Miss Universe pageant. Steve Harvey is the host. There are all these women back there. They've made it down to the final two. This woman is going to be Miss Universe. It's a big deal. So Philippines and Argentina are facing each other on the stage, and the music's like real tense. There's like a drum roll, and Steve Harvey's like, and the new Miss Universe is, and then it's like, and it's taking like a little too long.
Yeah.
And they're standing there looking at each other.
Okay.
The winner is Argentina. And then big applause. Whoa, shit. Argentina starts crying. She's like confused. She hugs Philippines. Philippines is sad. She takes some flowers and she goes off stage or like to the background in the dark area where all the other women are just silhouetted. You can't even see their faces anymore.
Yeah. We're done with looking at
you're
you.
done. You're just background now. You're a stage.
Put the average girls in the dark. That's
all
what
the
that contest
all the
said.
average girls in the house stay dark. Stay in the shadows. I'm gonna come out and do that.
Everyone else take a step back.
All the men in the house go, huh? all the unattractive ladies stay in the shadows. But
Good contest though.
Great contest. So anyway, she's getting her. They put a crown on her, and they give her flowers, and they put the Miss Universe sash on her, and she's like crying, and she's beautiful, and she's just like, she's out on stage, and the lights are flashing, all the camera lights are going, and the audience is going nuts, and the section of Argentina with like her family are all freaking out, and they're all like waving the Argentina flag, and Steve Harvey's standing up there, and then suddenly you just see him like sneak off stage. And then it's like the music's still going dun 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 dun.
We got credits.
And the music's just like going for too long.
Yeah.
And she's like, this other girl comes out and like waves with her. I think she's like a stagehand, maybe.
Less attractive.
Yeah. And she's like, kind of like, they're awkwardly, she's just like, okay, I guess I'll wave again. She starts waving.
Yeah, because how long could you clap for that person?
I mean, it's going on for a while, because I think at this point what's happening is Steve Harvey is backstage and he's either yelling or being yelled at or both. And then after way too long of like dun 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 dun, and then so finally there's like a wide shot and you see Steve Harvey in his white suit. You can see him kind of slowly making his way onto stage, and they're still clapping, the music's going, and then finally like over all of the noise you hear Steve Harvey on mic going, okay.
You've had your fun.
Okay. So here's in fact, you know what I'll do? I'm going to find this part because I don't want to butcher it.
Okay.
I'll find this part since the video's like way too long. But let's see. Miss Universe.
Is there a Miss World?
I don't know.
What's the difference between there's Miss America,
and
then it skips to Miss Universe?
There must be like there has to be like countries.
Is there like a whiter thing to do? Is there a whiter American thing to do to be like, there's Miss America, Or there's Miss Universe.
I think can I be maybe incorrect and just state that I think Miss America is not a thing anymore.
Okay.
And I think it's just Miss Universe.
So it's inclusive of the entire.
Yeah, so because it's
every
like,
being.
dude, it came down to Colombia and Philippines. There's no American there at all. It's like
well, in the finals.
In the finals, yeah. I mean, I'm sure they made it there eventually, but this is what it came down
Put
to.
Becky in the dark.
So anyway, here's
Put
the
American Becky
here's
in the
the
dark.
here's the music playing too long. Oh, it's more like that.
This is you won every game show
Yeah.
in 2019. This is I Want to Be a Millionaire.
Yeah.
This is the one with the boxes with Howard Mandel.
Okay, here we go. So still going too long. She's like waving. Okay, here we go. Steve Harvey's walking out.
Oh, track
Starts over.
2.
Okay, folks. I have to apologize.
So,
dude, so that means who's the Argentina is the other one or the Philippines?
Philippines is the other one.
When he says I have to apologize, 1,300 Filipinos are just like, I knew that girl wasn't that pretty. Get her in the dark.
She goes in the dark with the other girls.
I knew that girl was gonna end up in the dark,
dude. But right now, when Steve Harvey's like, I gotta say something. I've got something to say. I must apologize. Like everyone, even Miss Columbia is like, oh, here we go. Steve Harvey's gonna tell a joke.
Yeah.
We love jokes. Steve Harvey's a funny guy.
Here comes another Steve Harvey joke.
Dude, he's been killing it all night with his Steve Harvey
One
jokes.
last joke from Steve Harvey.
And here it is. And he looks.
People.
There's no joke. He's like looking at the card and he's like, not okay.
Dude, it sounds like there are people jumping off the balcony and lighting themselves on fire and
Dude,
shit.
Cutting to Philippines in the dark right now is the funniest thing. That's what they're doing right
They're
now.
cutting.
Yeah,
Philippines
she's
is
in the dark. Can you
dark.
see it through the camera there, sort of?
Probably.
This is the dark shot.
The
And
first
that's
runner-up is Colombia.
cuts to Philippines. She's freaking out. What? Everyone's confused.
Wait a minute. I'm the only one, and I'm in the dark.
The light turned on her real quick, by the way. Audience is freaking out. Miss USA. Oh, USA is standing next to Philippines. She was third, probably.
Miss Universe 2015 is Philippines.
Enjoy the same song like the last girl tried to.
So everyone's confused. Miss Philippines is like not even smiling. She's like, and she's awkwardly ushering onto stage right now. I'm gonna describe to you what's happening. She's covering her mouth. She has no idea what the fuck's going on. She's holding flour. Philippines is freaking out in the audience. Argentina.
She's wiped off her makeup by this point.
No, the makeup looks perfect. They're wearing some good shit. Dude, listen to Steve Harvey here.
Miss Philippines, take your first walk.
Take your first walk. And Miss Argentina is still standing there.
Walk around, Miss Argentina,
dude,
if you can.
Front and center.
Yeah.
And Philippines joins her on this side. And she's like, and Argentina's holding her giant bouquet and wearing her crown. And she's like, just looking around like, it's the most. So Miss Philippines is still confused. She's not smiling. She's looking around. Now's the smile. Steve Harvey's standing there like a fucking dumbass.
Wait, so who won? Argentina?
Philippines.
Won? Dude, if I was Philippines, I would go up to Colombia. Or who's standing there? Argentina?
Argentina, yeah.
And I would, through a smile, I would whisper, get the fuck out.
You fucking bitch. You thought you had it.
Hey, it's time for you to take a walk, too.
Hey, sweetie.
To the dark.
Hey, no matter what happens, I want you to look in my eyes and know that I made this happen. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, how about you get the fuck out of Mrs. Universe's face? Why don't you, hey, Miss Argentina, how about you get the fuck out of my beautiful face? And then Argentina's like, okay. Okay, I'm just so scared. And then
Give me the
Philippines goes, yeah, that's right. Okay, Miss Universe.
Okay, Miss.
So
You put that crown on.
take the fucking crown off, man. Take the crown off. So, dude, everyone's still confused. It seems like it's taking way too long. She's standing on stage, not smiling. Philippines is not smiling.
Yeah, why would you?
Here comes the woman who hands the flowers and the roses, or the flowers and the crown.
Yeah.
And she gets in between the Philippines
Smart.
and Argentina, and she puts both hands on one on her back, one on Argentina's back, one on Philippines'
But
back.
there's a little push behind righty.
No, the one on Argentina is going like this. Like, it's okay. Like, rubbing, like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So it's rubbing her back. And no one's smiling. Philippines is not smiling.
Folks,
Yeah.
let me just take control of this. This is exactly what's on the card. I will take responsibility for this.
But I will also throw whoever wrote the card under the bus immediately.
Because, holy shit, I'm embarrassed.
Dude, Hollywood people are really good at not taking full accountability
Absolutely.
for things.
Absolutely.
But making it sound like you are. Hey, this is completely my fault, but I will read to you what's printed. I don't know what font this is. It might be moron.
What is this, wingdings?
It was my mistake.
But-
it was on the card. Horrible mistake, but the right thing, I can show it to you right here.
Close up on the
The
card.
first runner-up is Colombia.
The first runner-up is Colombia.
I'm going to show you the card where it is very clearly written because I'm a celebrity, so there are 8 words on this card, tops. It says very clearly, and I did not read.
That
First,
yeah, I'm actually reading it now for the first time.
I'll take full
with you.
responsibility, but I'd also like to blame both of my eyes for not seeing the top line of font.
I'm just as confused as you guys, honestly, because I'm reading this now too with you. So let's do it.
I'll read it now as I should have before, and I'll take responsibility, but the dumb font that someone chose, some idiot chose, what's that, 24-point font?
I mean, I asked for 26.
And I'll take responsibility for asking for 26.
And not getting it. That's my fault.
Accountability is important.
It is my mistake. Still a great night.
Let's not forget the fun we had to get to this point.
At the end of the day, still a great night.
Please don't hold it against the ladies. Please don't.
Why
We
would they
feel
do
so
that?
badly, but it's still a great night. Thank you all.
Please don't hold it against the ladies who did nothing to bring us to this point except do their very best.
And really, it's up to me and no one else. So don't think it's the lady's fault.
It's not. Especially the lady who printed this goddamn card.
Here's the bottom line. It's not the lady's fault. We're having a good night. It's a good night. It's not my fault. It's on the card.
I think if we really all want to band together and blame someone, we can take a look at this card and we can point our fingers at this card.
I mean, at the end of the day, we've all had a card.
Reach in your pocket. Who has a card? Let's see some hands.
Why don't you read it on stage and with cameras on you and everyone looking at you, and you read it right?
Not that it's the camera's fault.
It's the card. So right now they're ripping her crown off. I'm serious. They're showing them take her crown off.
Yeah,
And
which
they're-
is like Bobby pinned into her hair by this point.
Dude,
Has
and
to be.
they're putting it on Miss Philippines. They put it on Miss Philippines, and it's just really strange and fucked up.
Yeah, that's great.
But I love it.
2015, what a year.
I know, man.
Yeah.
What a year for Bungles.
God, I miss it.
Was 2015 the year of the bungle?
That's a part of that song I've never heard.
All right, let's
before.
do some sponsors. real quick.
Wah, wah, wah.
Okay, let's do this.
Oh, uh-oh.
It's the American Beauty soundtrack. Someone just got a keyboard and they're playing around with it. Yeah, this sounds good. I'm throwing a beat.
Is there a beat button that I can play this cool riff I just made up off of? Guitar, my first day with a guitar sounds like this.
Squarespace, guys. Squarespace.
Love Squarespace.
We love Squarespace. you guys know to head to, go to, check out, watch, go, hang out, go right now to squarespace.com/banter for a free trial. When you're ready to launch, you can use that offer code BANTER to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. But did you know that there are so many things you can do with Squarespace that you probably didn't think you could do easily?
Somebody found the clap button.
And with very minimal effort. Here's some things you can do with Squarespace. You can create a beautiful website. You can showcase your work. You can blog or publish content. No one's clapped like that in real life.
Ever.
You can sell products and services of all kinds, promote your physical or online business, announce an upcoming event or special project. You get someone's birthday coming up. You want to get real special with it. Your girl, your gal, your whatever. You got something where you're working on. You want them to know how special they are. Make a website for them. Why not? It's very easy. And also, Squarespace has those beautiful templates that are created by world-class designers, so you don't have to worry about the design of your website. It's already taken care of by world-class designers.
They really do help you make a beautiful thing without you knowing any coding or having any artistic ability whatsoever. Once again, I'd like to blame the card for being incorrectly written for my eyes. Not trying to throw anybody under the bus, but goddamn it, baby, you know I'm not lying to you.
I'm only going to tell you one time. For some
Whoa,
reason,
I'm running.
I can't play for some reason. It's not playing. The music's not playing.
Do you want me to substitute the claps that were happening?
Could you please? I would love that. All right, we'll just continue on without the music there. Guys, there's also the ability to customize the look and feel, settings, products, and more with just a few clicks. Anybody can build a website, even Mike Falzone. MikeFalzone.com is a Squarespace website that Mike moderates and handles on his own.
All of my tour dates are on that website, all kinds of things that we sell in the dynamic banter universe. And also, it's like, what are you going to do? Trust somebody else's website with all your creative thoughts and all your endeavors? Because they're going to change your algorithm and you're going to reach a quarter of the amount of people you used to reach just because somebody futzed with a code. Take control of your shit and get your own website through Squarespace.
Exactly. You want control of your own stuff. You want to be able to have control over every detail, every aspect of your website, and that's what Squarespace does. And there's free and secure hosting, the built-in search engine optimization, analytics that'll help you grow in real time, a new way to buy domains and choose from over 200 extensions, and there's nothing to patch or upgrade ever, and there's that 24/7 award-winning customer support. Guys, make it yourself. Easily create a website by yourself with Squarespace. You ready to start your new business? Destiny's calling, guys, and it says you need a website. Make it with Squarespace. Go to squarespace.com/banter. That's squarespace.com/banter for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use that offer code BANTER to save 10% off your first purchase of a website domain. And hey, it also helps your buddies out right here that you've been listening to and having a light or hard chuckle with.
Yeah. If you do get a Squarespace website, you write Squarespace and you say, I did this for one specific reason.
Yeah, say you did it for us. Thank you, Squarespace.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Was that me?
It must have been because
It was me. And I'm sorry. Beautiful voice. The bird on ice on the lock.
It's the stump that's like skating around.
Somehow.
Guys, shout out to Audible.
Oh, nice.
That's right, man. Audible.
Do you
Good
want to
times.
say that you read books?
But instead, actually just listen to them?
Yeah, I do. And I have been.
Let me present these bullet points to you guys really quick. Could listening make you a better parent, a better leader, even a better person? Could listening to motivating fitness programs get you fit? Could listening inspire you to start something new?
I'm sorry?
There's never been a better time to start listening on Audible. And with Audible, you get access to an unbeatable selection of audiobooks, including bestsellers, motivation, mysteries, thrillers, memoirs, and more. And Audible has the largest selection of audiobooks on the planet, and now with Audible Originals, the selection has gotten even more custom with content made for members. Audible members can choose 3 titles every month, 1 audiobook and 2 Audible originals you can't hear anywhere else. Audible members also get access to exclusive audio fitness programs. You listen on any device, anytime, anywhere, at home, at the gym, on your commute, or just on the go. You'll also enjoy easy audiobook exchanges, rollover credits, and an audiobook library that you keep forever, even if you cancel.
Even if you die.
It's like having a virtual library that you keep forever, no matter what. It's your library.
Virtual librarian is what we're living in.
Audible. The most inspiring minds, the most compelling stories, the best place to listen. Get started with a 30-day trial when you go to audible.com/banter or text 500. I'm sorry. Let me get this part right, because this is an important part.
Text Adele
Dazeem. Oh my God. The promo code is Banter. Jesus Christ.
I'd like to make this one good for 500.
Go to audible.com/banter or text Banter to 500 and listen for a change. That's right, audible.com/banter or text Banter, BANTER, to 500 and listen. Why don't you listen and listen to
Can I
something?
tell you, dude, I read 2 or 3 books in like 2 months with audiobooks.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is super worthwhile. If you just want to, dude, on your way to work, if you've got a week to wait before another Dynamic Banter episode, you could just learn to be better in your car while you wait for your friends to come back into your head.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at a point in my life where like self-help books and like learning how to love yourself and how to be a better human being are like pretty important things to learn about. I mean, I just think it's, you know, if you're already a good person, then then you're good. But also, you can always learn more things, and you can always learn more from these self-help books and stuff. And I don't know, there's endless stuff.
Yeah.
Endless books and audio and things to listen to. Go to audible.com/banter or text Banter to 500 and listen for a change.
Had fun.
All right, Mike.
Had a lot of fun. Do we have some history robes?
Yeah, you want to do some robes?
Yeah.
You want to put on some robes?
Can I ask you the thing I wanted to ask you?
Yeah, please. Ask me whatever you want. Ask me, baby.
I wrote 3 things on the walk over here.
Okay.
If I say reverse motor tricycle, do you know what I'm saying?
Reverse motor tricycle.
It's the thing with, it's a way people, it's like a Vespa, kind of, but there's 2 wheels on the front and there's 1 wheel on the back.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those.
That's impossible to make look cool.
I know. And
Impossible.
It's usually like pretty old people on them.
Yeah.
Because
With
I
a
think
bad helmet,
I think it's people who like
bright vest.
who their doctor and wife and family have told them to no longer ride a motorcycle.
Yeah, your
You
prostate
cannot-
is demolished.
Yeah, your prostate cannot handle a motorcycle anymore.
Unless
The
there are
engine-
2 wheels on the front.
Sir, let me just put this into some verbiage that you might be able to understand. If you ride on a motorcycle again, the engine vibrations will, your anus will slip out.
You will lose the ability to have a cool hard
You
cock.
will lose your cool hard cock. And that would make me stop. You kidding me?
You'll never wake up with a bonniere again.
Guess what? Never have a morning hood. You'll never have a morning hood again.
Dude, even if even if there was $100 bills shooting out of the back of it, and somebody was having sex with you to make it go, there's no way to make it look cool. I gotta find out what those things are called. It's an embarrassing vehicle.
You know what, Mike? I think that's a very funny observation. But if that thing was shooting out $100 bills, and the man was making love to an attractive person, I would think that was pretty cool.
You would think that was pretty cool, but you would not think that the vehicle that they were on. Yeah.
That's the only thing that could make that vehicle cool.
That's the only thing you could be cool around that vehicle, I would say. You're being cool on top of the dorkiest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Because that's the thing. Like, there's not one person on this planet you could put on one of those and make it look cool. Like, there's
no influencer powerful enough.
I'm just going to say this. I'm going to make a decree in the comedy world.
Yeah.
If you ever see anyone on one of those, you have every right to make fun of them.
Yeah.
Every right.
100%. Who's the coolest person we could think of?
Like James Dean. We talking alive?
No.
Live or dead? So James Dean. Put James Dean on one of those.
James Dean could be spinning around, shooting Roman candles.
Yeah. With sunglasses.
No, I'm going to top it up. That's the coolest thing I could think of.
Yeah. I can't think of James Dean spinning with Roman candles. What's cooler than that?
James Dean kind of playing the air drums with Roman candles.
with that Mannheim Steamroller Christmas song playing.
Yeah.
What is it?
What is the name of that band? The electric guitar Christmas time.
Yeah, I forgot.
Queen.
Dun 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 dun.
And then I had this whole thing I wanted to do about people who sell cars.
Go for it. Let's hear it.
I don't think you have to be an asshole to sell a car, but I was wondering why they are.
They have to be,
assholes.
yeah.
And the note is, I feel bad for men who have had no experience with powerful women. And it sounds like a pandery premise, but there were two instances in my life. One, when I bought my car in college with my mom.
My car Jackson.
Escaping the lot with my car Jackson. And
my car Douglas.
My car Jordan. Who were the Ninja Turtles? There was Leel Angelo, Richard, Rob, Master Rat,
and
my car
Douglas. Car Angelo.
No, never mind. I don't even want to.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Like, you don't have to be a piece of shit to sell it. And that's the thing. It's like these car salesmen, they're meant to be nice so that you can, because they want commission. That's all they want.
Yeah.
And they get great commission for selling cars.
But I've had two instances in my life where I'm sitting there and we're signing the final
paperwork
papers.
Is when shit gets bad.
Yeah. And so most recently, a couple of years ago, Zoya was there. And then years and years ago, my mom was there, who works in finance, so she knows how all that shit works.
Sure.
And I remember back in the day, maybe like 2006 or whatever, when I bought that Matrix.
Yeah.
The dude at one point was giving my family the business and talking to my dad, and he's like, I'm going to talk to you because you clearly understand the finances in the family. My dad doesn't know shit about finances, but my mom knows everything. And then me and my dad simultaneously, without looking at each other, just kind of started laughing and crossed our arms and sat back like,
and just let your mom do all the work.
Yeah, and I did the same thing with Zoya a couple years ago.
So
like
Zoya is good with the finances and stuff?
Yeah. Well, more good with like haggling and taking no bullshit, obviously. Yeah. It's very on brand for Zoya.
Yeah, I that's the thing. It's like it's you should experiment if you're looking to buy a car or get a used car or whatever, and you're scared because they're really like intimidating people, and they do get to that point where they're like, listen, man, I'm not going any lower. So
Yeah.
we're,
think you won't walk away.
Yeah,
which is the
yeah.
thing. All you got to do is be okay with walking away.
But they'll say shit like, this is kind of wasting both of our time. So
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
and it's like, don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
And it's like,
What do you have to get back to?
Yeah.
Putting pens in your shirt pocket?
standing outside with 4 other dudes laughing about
Yeah.
really misogynistic shit.
What do you have to do? Are you busy embroidering the Toyota symbol on a pea coat, you piece of shit?
He's trying to decide which shitty coffee he wants from the coffee room.
Yeah. Are you still debating which donut to have, you piece of shit?
Yeah, I don't be mean, and when you get to the paperwork part, stand your ground and don't be afraid. This is another human being you're talking to. Don't let them intimidate you, because that's their thing. They start off real nice, and then once you get into the paperwork room, it's like they don't want you to leave that room, and they're going to do everything they can, and sadly, like, aggressive
But it's a very
pushiness is what
40,
works for them.
50-year-old man thing to do, to be like, I'm going to talk to the man of the house.
Yeah,
but that doesn't exist
I know,
anymore.
it
really.
doesn't.
And it made me feel bad because I had to go get my oil changed the other day, so I see all these people in the dealership. And it made me feel bad to know that there's a generation of people who have been like subconsciously disrespecting
I know, man.
all women for their entire life.
They're using psychological powers, which is what they've used their whole life to get what they want. And
Yeah, but they
unfortunately,
don't work anymore.
They don't work anymore.
They don't
That's
work
right, boy. Your day is done, you sleaze bag.
Found out long ago, it's a long way down the history road. History road. History road.
I think the bird's trying to grab too much screen time, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, hey, why don't you slow your roll, buddy? This one's too long. This one's called a short history road. I like that. Jacob Adams sends a
That's
short.
how to get your shit read.
That
by
is
the
how.
way.
Yeah, if you put
every time somebody hits me up on Instagram, be like, "Tell Steve to read my fucking shit. Make a short.
Make it short. Condense it. I know you can.
Read it over and cut out every word that doesn't need to be there."
Listen, something that I'm learning as a comedy writer and more of an improv person and less of a comedy writer is that I've got to be less precious about being wordy in scripts and stuff.
Oh God, that's first day of
Chop it down,
stand-up
baby.
stuff.
Chop
Every
it
word
down.
that doesn't need to be, you Argentina that shit to the dark.
Make everyone think you're gonna say it. And then say it and then take it back.
Put your words in the dark.
Put your blame on everyone else. Jacob Adams says, "Short history road. That's why they call me in That's what they call me in high school. Greetings, lil boys. They call you a short history road. Greetings, leel boys. Here's a short history road. I used to work in an office where we'd regularly play pool on breaks. Wow, fucking slumming it. My coworker asked me to break, and I said, that's what they call me in high school. This has been my go-to joke for a long time. When I started listening to you two, I added the blank is my favorite blank to my jokes as well. Anyways, thanks for the laugh." Okay, so he said, break. My coworker asked me to break, and I said, that's what they call me in high school. Break?
There's a disconnect here between where you think this is funny and where this is funny. Break is the name?
I'm moving on. This video is from...
Wait a minute. Read it one more time because I want to make sure
Okay.
we're not missing something.
Greetings, leel boys.
Hello.
Here's a short history road.
Yeah.
I used to work in an office where we'd regularly play pool on breaks. My coworker asked me to break, and I said that's what they call me in high school.
No.
I hate that I read it twice. I don't know who to be mad at.
Blame somebody else.
Full of Steve Harvey. Katie Campbell sends an email saying, an actual question for you guys. Hi, BB Boys. Many moons ago when you were first explaining History Road, you said along with stories we could also send in questions for you to answer.
That was then.
That was then. This is now. Next question. Next email.
Play the music again. What a bad day. Bad mood day.
So a question. How do you two
My
keep...
favorite Beatles song.
How do you two... How do you two keep track of different bits from each of the... He wants to die. Greg. How do you two keep track of the different bits from each of the different podcasts / shows you do? Insert joke about Steve having over 9,000 podcasts. Do you ever find yourself starting to reference a bit on one podcast and realize it was birthed on another? I'm curious. Love. Thanks, boys. Love, Katie. P.S. to whoever publishes the episodes, I immediately get nervous when new episodes don't have a description. It's like the written version of not knowing when Steve's going to blow out the levels, but anticipating the explosion at all times. I thought we fixed the no descriptions. I went in and I put descriptions in.
That's not part of my
Listen,
job
Katie
description.
Campbell, you're talking about shit from the beginning of the podcast, how like you could also send in questions and shit, and then you're throwing at us whoever puts up the episodes isn't putting in descriptions.
The last episode that Katie listened to was episode 14.
Yeah, where like maybe there isn't a description because it's episode 14. So yeah, no, I don't remember anything. And in fact, I found a thread on either the Valley Folk subreddit or the Dynamic Banter subreddit that was like, is anyone else getting sick of Steve saying the same things on both podcasts? And it's like, and most people were like, no, because he elaborates and it's fun, which really made me happy. But it's like, I can't remember what the fuck I talked about on one podcast to the other. Can you?
I love seeing Steve for free constantly.
Yeah, holy shit.
But I got
man.
a big gripe with everything he says.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, man. I mean, not that you were trying to be, contrary or like, aggressive about it or anything, but man, I know I'm going through a lot of history roads here. This one's a little long, so I'll do this one.
I'll say this, man. There are, and I think some people need to understand that a lot of comedy, especially if you're going to make it into something else, like make it into a sketch or stand-up or whatever, a lot of that comes from casual conversation with friends. So I have parts of my stand-up right now that aren't anywhere that have come from conversations that we've had on the podcast.
Yeah.
And that's going to happen because this is like
it's just unavoidable.
This is a conversation that two friends are having. This isn't like, we don't script this out every week. So this isn't like, once it's on Dynamic Banter, then...
Yeah, I mean, like, usually the things that I talk about on Dynamic Banter and then are also mentioned on the First Time Show or the Valley Cast.
Too many.
It's usually because I did something really cool that I want to talk a lot about.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, whatever. We don't need to explain ourselves. Here's the thing. Here's the bottom line. We're neurotic comedians that already have bad memories.
I don't think I'm neurotic.
Yeah,
I do
you
have
are.
bad memories. and I learned something.
We're all neurotic to some degree. We all have our neuroses, and that's not to say that we're like insane people. There it is. And that Mike just tried to burn his hand on a candle, huh? But anyway, yeah, we're gonna forget sometimes. So yes, no, I don't remember anything I do on a podcast, and then unless someone makes a video out of it, and then I get to see it again on Twitter, and then I go, oh, that was funny. Holy shit, I forgot that we said funny things the other day.
Just be happy we're still alive and trying our best to entertain you.
For now. Nathan Brigham says, a little baby boy history road. Hey, you born boys. This history road is from when I was a little boy, about 7 or 8. My family and I were at Walmart having our pictures did while we waited until our turn. I had to find something to do, so as the genius I was, I spot a good old fire alarm on the wall, which I proceed to pull real hard. Fire alarm goes off, and we gotta go. The next day...
Because there might be a fire.
I'm not sure. The next day, my brother...
Dude, I'm ringing the fire alarm in case there
might have been a fire, and that's what I told the police.
What if there's a fire that I don't know about? Pull the alarm.
Like, the cops come over, and they're like, why did you pull that fire alarm? And the kid goes, there might have been a fire.
Kid, I had no idea that there wasn't a fire.
I mean, can you tell me if there was
What
or
am I
wasn't
gonna,
a fire?
I'm gonna risk people's lives now because I don't know if there was definitely a fire. Or
There's
not.
hundreds of people in there. You know,
What
like
if there? Think about if there was a fire.
if there was a fire, that think of all those families, and the cop's like, there wasn't a fire, and the kid goes, prove it,
Thank goodness.
prove it, prove it. I'm getting a lawyer. Prove it.
and also the kid is 8.
Right, and he walks out to this music. All right.
What if that was the fire alarm? That would be terrifying.
At least it made me laugh before we die. The next day, my brother of about 12 or 13 went to school, where he ran into his friend who told him how the day before the Walmart he was at caught on fire and he barely made it out.
Oh, shit.
My brother then went on to call his BS and tell him how it was his own little brother who honked that horn.
His BS?
I can only... because he's saying... We barely made it out because they were in a Walmart and the fire alarm went off. And this guy's saying, bullshit. My brother pulled that fire alarm and there was no fire.
There was probably no fire.
I can only assume he sat there in shame and stumbled around to re-explain his story.
Oh, getting caught out in a lie is the worst.
Yeah.
That's why you don't lie. That's a great advertisement for not lying.
Thanks for all the laughs and honks, boys. By the way, I was lucky enough to see you both the same weekend when you came down to Toronto/Niagara Falls, and it was lovely getting to meet you both. Love you guys, Nathan B.
That was a great trip. Thank you for your History Road, Nathan.
Thanks, Nathan.
Thank you for all the history roads we read, even the ones we didn't understand all the way.
Or weren't funny. Mike?
I didn't say it.
You got any...
I didn't say it the second time.
You got any plugs, baby?
Yeah, man. April 9th, 2 Big Room in Irvine, California. At the Irvine Spectrum, the Improv is too big, but the lineup is fucking awesome. It's me, Delman, Hannah Pasternak, Heather Pasternak, who was on late night television doing stand-up over there.
My
Ali
Car
Makovsky,
Angelo.
My Car Jordan. My Car... hold on. What's his name? My Car J. Fox. Sorry that took so long. David Murphy, Craig Conant, and Steve Fury, and everyone's fucking super hilarious. And then me and Elliot are doing some things on the road in what I believe to be May. We're going to Seattle and
Love it.
Tampa Bay and shit like that. But it'll all be on my Squarespace website, MikeFalzone.com.
That's really fun.
2 videos coming out every week on Tuesdays and Fridays. And also, I'd like to say thank you. We lost our editor for this show.
Yeah.
Sarah is going on her merry way.
She's got other things to do.
This is the perfect job to jump off into a better job.
Yeah.
And we've proven that time after time.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for your help
Sarah.
building the YouTube channel. And thank you to whoever steps into your gigantic shoes.
Yeah, speaking of, anyone listening to this that is unaware, we do have a YouTube channel where we put up all of the videos from each podcast. And if you want to check that out, it's youtube.com/dynamicbanter. And thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode.
Happy WrestleMania week, everyone.
That was a HeadGum podcast.